All right, welcome to this special hour now focusing on joblessness, but not being hopeless. If you haven't lost your job, you probably know someone who has. Maybe they're scared, and maybe you're scared, rather, that you could be the next person on the laid-off list. There are very anxious times for all of us. This hour, we're focusing on what you need to do to stay hopeful and keep or find a job. Our guests this hour include a job recruiter, a representative from a company that is actually hiring 3 people who need help finding work, and we've even brought in a wellness expert for advice on how to relieve all of the stress. And we're taking your questions, of course. Email us at weekends@cnn.com. All right, millions of people are looking for work. Here are just a few that we found lining up at what's being called the largest job fair in Georgia's history.
So a lot of them are going out of business. It is very stressful trying to pay your bills.
Their stories of how they got here vary, but each of the 10,000 who lined up 2 hours before doors opened at this job fair in downtown Atlanta came for one thing.
I lost my job back in June, so I'm looking for something else.
Graphic artist Kim Summerauer, a casualty of the shrinking newspaper business, laid off without severance after 19 years with Atlanta's leading newspaper. Her weekly $320 state unemployment checks end in May. And at 41, she's back home living with her parents. So it's been about 8 months.
Yes.
That must hurt.
Yes, it does. It's hard, but I'm making them hanging in there. Let's hope I find something today.
I'm hoping at least by April, no later than May. And at that time, most employers will start to, open up the doors for hiring.
That's the hope of laid-off engineer Calvin Ratchford as well. He was let go from a private company 2 days before Christmas, but trying to stay jolly. 22-year-old single mother Princess Olivia brought her 2-year-old. Now that her holiday season job is over, she's open.
I guess staffing services, clerical, customer service. I would like to sit down and work.
This as Georgia's unemployment rate climbs to 9.3% compared to the national average of 8.1%. Driver Charles Williams, at 57, has been out of work here for 2 years.
I'm going to give myself a few months, and if not, I think I'm going to move and leave the state.
Really?
Yeah. See, I'm originally from Jersey, so I'm either going to go back to Jersey or go with my sister in Oklahoma. I can't stay here and starve. That's what I have to do. I have to do what I have to do.
In the growing crush of anxious Americans out of work, job fairs offer a glimmer, even if only a handful of jobs are available. Teacher Brian Edney knows the drill. He's lost count of how many job fairs he's attended since December.
You begin to see the same people at various job fairs around the city.
Even if he leaves empty-handed, he's confident networking will eventually pay off.
I kind of have fun with it. We kind of say, hi, how are you? We got to stop meeting like this. We give each other tips on what to do and which employers are looking, and maybe some tips on what openings may be available given our experience and our qualifications.
I like what you have here.
Free how-to sessions and resume rebuilding are features of many job fairs. That's where we noticed 27-year-old Sedgwick Willis, his wife Sheree, and 7-month-old son. The recent college graduate admits it's hard to stay upbeat.
Well, just tell me, what's right and wrong. What areas do I need to correct? If I have to reword it, put it in a better format. Anything that will help me right now, basically. I'm definitely need help. Like I said, I have a family, so definitely got to support my family. That's like the biggest thing, and the biggest, concern and problem that I'm having right now.
While Willis waited his turn, we caught up again with graphic artist Kim Summerauer, hitting one booth after another.
You can find out about these jobs through the Department of Labor.
Along the way,
You have to have a foreign language for this.
a few roadblocks and detours.
I'm not really looking for a commission-based job, and I went on and signed up for it.
And how are you feeling right now?
Not really something I'm really looking for. But, like I said, I'm just looking around to see what's out here.
Still optimistic about the next thing?
Yeah, still looking, yeah.
And trying to do everything possible to stand out in a very big crowd. So how do you stand out? Let's ask some of our guests here. Calvin Ratchford, let me reintroduce you to him. He's here with us live now. You saw him in the piece. He's an out-of-work IT engineer. Dominic Granada, you didn't see him in the piece, but we're going to let him explain his story. He lost his job 2 weeks ago after 16 years in management at the same company. And April Fawcett Nagel is a job search and recruitment expert. We're going to hear from her on some advice to some of our unemployed guests and all of you out there who are looking for some guidance. And Josh Les is here to take your questions. So, Dominic, let me begin with you. You lost your job 2 weeks ago. How has your search been coming along? How difficult? You're a single dad. This has got to be a tough time.
It is hopeful, but I feel like a fish out of water a little bit, having been employed for 16 years. And,
with the same company, which means you probably didn't have a resume at the ready. You may have been caught by surprise on this.
Yes, and you know, they say keep your resume ready and so on, but I really didn't do that. So I really had to think long and hard about all of the things that I did do in 16 years. And when you look back, there was quite a few of them. So
yeah.
It's been interesting.
But you're not alone, so you can't feel bad about that, because really so many people in the same boat now trying to figure out, how do I navigate this huge maze of trying to find a job. All right, Josh Les also been taking some of these emails and iReports. We're hearing from people with a lot of questions and concerns. Give us kind of a preview of what people are saying.
A lot of emotional stories, Fred. A lot of people really opening up to us today, telling us their specific situation. And our goal throughout this hour is to pass along your stories and get you some answers, some solutions, some ideas that maybe you haven't even thought of yet. That's the goal. Keep the questions coming here. Weekends at CNN.com or to my Facebook page, Josh Lev, CNN. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with some of your questions.
All right, perfect. So you go to a job fair, or you perhaps go to the Career Center. Now what? How in the world do you stand out once you've learned about some possible job openings? Right after this. Hey, all right, let's take a look at some of the numbers. Unemployment very grim. Of those 55 and over, more than 1 million now are unemployed. The average period that they remain jobless, 55 and over, 25 weeks. And you saw in our piece earlier, you met the 57-year-old driver who has been looking for a job now for 2 years. One person that caught our attention was through our CNN.com iReports. Jean Lindsay is 67 years old, and she has been uploading videos about her struggles trying to find a job. She's with us now. Lindsay, give me an idea. What has it been like for you as you've been looking for a job, and for how long now?
Since September, when I was laid off from a family-owned furniture store. They closed nights. And it's been up and down. It has helped to have the people at iReport with, check in with their stories. But I have some breaking news for you, a real scoop.
What?
Since yesterday I was on for 5 minutes, and I was telling you that, it was tough. I went for a job interview that afternoon, and I got the job.
Oh, my gosh, that's fantastic.
The thing of it is that they wanted people who were older. I can work from home initially. I'll be making appointments for people who are going to give seminars in businesses to tell people how they can save money on their children's tuition. They help show people how to negotiate that. And it's a growing business.